Chess, nonsense, and analysis. Hi, dear viewer. So here we are once again. Yeah, let's start with the African individuals. So there was action in round seven, and yeah, let's start from the South African perspective and the women's section. Unfortunately. Jessie lost her game. So yeah, basically ending any of her chances of winning the tournament. And yeah, so we just hope that she can have some good finish, so that the tournament is not a complete disaster. Ansel drew. Uh, yeah, she drew a game. So they are both, I think, on four now, out of seven. So yeah, tough going. Yeah, the finale is interesting because uh, Wafa Shruk won today, and she's in the lead with another player from Algeria. So yeah, they should meet in the next round. That should be quite interesting to see what will happen. In the men's section. Yeah, from a South African perspective, didn't go well again. Look, today Simpson was playing against a good player. He's playing a grandmaster, another grandmaster, Ahmed Adli, and yeah, he lost in today's round. Um, Still a good tournament, still having a good tournament, and so he'll have to bounce back after this loss. Um, on board one, Bassem drew first, on board one, he drew, and so Pelaj won his game. He was playing at Abdel Nabi, so Egyptian international master. So yeah, at the moment, Bassem Amin is still leading the event, and yeah, let's see what will happen in the final two rounds. Now, what is interesting is that I'm not going to be showing a game from the African individual, and please allow me to explain. Well, I was following the games, but I think that there's something wrong with the feed. The games are not making a lot of sense to me. There seems to be something definitely wrong with the feed. I mean, I looked at the open section games and also the women's section. I was looking, for example, at Jess's game, but some moves that are not possible, like giving up plundering a whole piece easily and blah 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 blah, and also Michael Simpson's game was like very quickly there was a result and there was some end game in the end, but nothing was making much sense. And I must admit, even I checked Passem's game on one where he drew and he had the white pieces. And it also didn't look Passem-like, let's put it that way, the way that game went. So I think that there's a problem with the feed. And yeah, let's hope that they will fix it later on. Maybe they'll look at the score sheets and then rectify it and provide the games later. Anyway, a friend of mine showed me this very interesting game, which I'm going to share with you now. It's a very current game. It was played today. There's a tournament that is happening in the United Arab Emirates, a fantastic open, and this open is open only to players over 2,500 rating. So a ridiculously strong open, and most of the top players are playing. Many of them, up to Satorov is playing, Kiri is playing. Um, Okay, many don't come to mind, but very, very strong open. And yeah, so we look at one game. It started yesterday. Today's round two. So I'm keeping an eye on it, of course. It's very exciting from a chess point of view, but I'm keeping more an eye, of course, on the African individual. Yeah, my idea is possibly that once the African individual wraps up, we will then jump into this open and have a look at what is happening. Very exciting. But yeah, I actually, because as I say, it was being played today. So a friend of mine sent me this game and yeah, fantastic game. Let's have a look. So it was played between two GMs, Nicholas uh, Theodorou, 2611 against Madaminov Mukhidin, 2520. And let's jump into it. It's quite an exciting game. So e4, e5 was played, bishop c4, knight f6, knight c3. This setup in knight takes e4 was played. Queen h5, knight d6, bishop b3, and black played bishop e7. I remember, I used to study this as a youngster, and knight c6 was a move that was played then. Then white plays knight b5. Of course, black cannot take because of mate. G6 is played, queen f3, f5, queen d5. This is like the theory then, And then queen e7, knight takes d8 check, king d8, knight takes a8, b6, some fantastic stuff. And I haven't checked this for forever. I wonder what the computer thinks about this position. Would be interesting. And I remember there was a game, a book by John Nunn, Secrets of Grandmaster Play. And in one of his early games, he had looked at this with lots of variations. That was the era without the computers, and I had found it to be ridiculously interesting. And I remember trying to analyze it myself over and over, as a junior player. Yeah, those were some nice memories there. Those were the days. But okay, this time Bishop E7 is played. Uh, and I will be honest, I had to double to recheck because uh, I played this game as black. I mean something like this against Shabir Baudin in the African individual. By the way, I think it was in Nigeria in 2007. And I think Shabir took on e5, something like this, or knight f3 first, knight f knight c6. And yeah, it was a difficult game. I managed to win the game, but very up and down game. And so actually, when I saw f4, I didn't know, honestly speaking, I didn't know this idea. I think when it was played, I probably missed it, along the years. But I double checked, and F4 actually was played in a very recent game in 2023 by the ever creative Levon Aronian, and he played against Duda, and he won a beautiful game. I think it was a rapid game. And this game, they follow. Remember, this game was played today. They follow this Aronian game for a while. I think both players are aware of it. White is more aware of it, possibly because White plays into the variation, possibly White prepared it. Black maybe has remembers, but not 100% clear as always, yeah. And that's modern chess. It's about getting the opponent in a position, not always, but in many cases, getting the opponent in a position where they are not familiar, or at least they haven't re-looked at what's happening. Anyway, so we have a very interesting position because, if we look at it, white is sacrificing a pawn. White will take one pawn back, of course, right? So white is sacrificing a pawn, and there's a lot of compensation that white is having because black's pieces, especially this knight on d6, is quite an issue. It's quite an issue. If what you imagine, let's say the knight was not there, then let's say even if the knight was on e8 and it was black's turn to play, black would possibly take this position because black could play c6 followed by d5 maybe or something, right? But now this knight on d6 is a bit awkward, a little bit awkward. And that is where white's compensation is open play and awkwardness of black's position. Knight c6, bishop takes a4. They are still following the Aronian Buddha game. And yeah, it looks very dangerous. White wants to castle long, play h4, knight g5, and so on. H6 is played, queen h3, knight f5. Knight f5 makes sense, right? Because black wants to move the pawn and open up for the bishop. Castles long, both playing completely logically. And in this game, black played bishop f6. I think round about here, the grandmaster playing black, Mataminov kind of forgot the game we're talking about. So the Aronian game, Duda played here d6. This was the Aronian game. A logical move to open up for the bishop. Then Aronian played g4, knight g7, bishop h6. Very complicated game. And Aronian went on to win the game. But yeah, it's not due to the opening. I mean, the position is still very unclear. But of course, White has got a big initiative, let's put it that way, right? But game position is interesting. Anyway, bishop f6 was played, and indeed, time is important. But once again, it's about the development. So White plays d5, knight d4, and then plays g4. So White starts to inject some energy into the position. Knight takes f3. Yeah, so this move is criticized. Maybe you should have taken on b3. Okay, not so easy why to see why it's not such a great move. But then when we see g takes f5, and especially the next move, so knight h4, d6. I really love d6 because what is happening is that it's such a beautiful move, yeah. D6, all of White's pieces get into the game, and the black bishop is just sort of locked away, and the key has been thrown away. It's quite beautiful, beautiful concept. Obviously tries to trade pieces. Queen g4 is a classy move. You don't want to allow the queen to get into the position that you're trying to attack because the queen is quite a strong defender. So queen g4 is very logical. Queen takes, knight takes f5, and now we start h4. Now all of a sudden, White has got all the time in the world. You know, White is 2 pawns down, is sacrificing the other one on d6. And it reminds one of it gives the pleasure to watch this because it reminds one of the romantic era in chess, right? Where one side just sacrifices material and is playing for an attack directly. It's very rare to see this at a high level. Yeah, beautiful. H5, queen f6 is very difficult to defend, takes on g6. And look at the job that this bishop is doing. Because this bishop is stopping some f takes g6. F takes g6, excuse me, would be nice because then it would get the rook into the game, right? But now you cannot play this move, h takes g6, and now queen h2 threatening queen h7 checkmate, of course. Queen g7, rook takes d6, and sacrifices the exchange. I mean, okay, if knight takes d5, knight d5 was coming, the threat now is knight e7 checkmate or knight f6, queen takes queen h7 mate. And this is also looking extremely dangerous. Black will not survive this, right? But okay, black plays a5, and then we get a very beautiful end. Rook takes g6. Look at this, it's so beautiful. I mean, the queen is pinned. And of course, if queen takes g6, then queen h8 checkmate will be played. Such a nice game. And if black does not do anything, let's say black tries to escape, I don't know, g8, then white checkmates again because the queen is pinned. A very nice game. So once again, sorry that we could not look at the All Africa individual games, but I hope that Yeah, as I say, unfortunately, I don't think that the games, I think that there's something wrong with the feed, but I hope that at least this gives some compensation to you, viewer, just seeing a nice game that's played, a very fresh game, very fresh ideas. So, yeah. This looks like it would be nice to see a variation like this, gaining in popularity, especially at the top, and seeing guys try it out with this nice, aggressive, romantic era type of chess. Beautiful. Anyway, we are going to then join the action tomorrow uh, for round 8 and in the All Africa individual. And we are going to see what will happen. And we're following, obviously, with great interest. And yeah, with that, um, uh, please do, comment on this game and what were your impressions about this game? I certainly would love to see more games like these. I mean, wouldn't you guys like to see more games at the top where players are playing like this? So please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. And yeah, till next time. And with that, I will say checkmate.